Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the episode 2 of Node-RED Dashboard version 2 template node. In the first episode, we introduced the template node out of the palette dashboard version 2 and show how to create a custom dashboard element by writing simple HTML instead of relying on default widgets. Today, we are going to do one thing. Take the live data from the Node-RED and show it on dashboard version 2 template node. For this, we are not going to use any sensors, no PLCs. We are not going to use any MQTT or OPC communication protocols. We are just going to use the live data perhaps from something like an inject timestamp and push it into the template node and see how we can observe the value. In order to do that, I'm going to bring my inject and the debug and connect them together. And if I click deploy, I can go to my debug section, my console, and click inject. So it injects a number, a value. If I inject it several times, we can see that number, the value is being changed. That is the millisecond from 1st of January 1970. What we would like to do is to grab that number and publish it in our template node in our page 1. In order to do that, I'm going to connect my timestamp to template and deploy. And if I go to my page 1, to my dashboard, we can see there is nothing being shown yet. This is because inside the template node, we don't have any code. So we are going to type some HTML code to make that work. There's a tag called div. Div allows us to create a new container and get the values from the previous nodes and publish it here. So what I'm going to do is to put my msg.payload in between that tag and get the value. But in order to do that, I'll need to put it in double brackets. Now if I click done, deploy, inject, I can go to my page 1 and I can see that number is now being shown. If I go back to my editor, open the template, I can give it a title. I can simply write something like time, colon, and then click done, deploy, and if I go back to my page 1, I can see that title is now being shown. If I go back to my editor, I can start thinking about adding more details. Perhaps I can change the value I'm receiving from the timestamp and return it into the more readable format. So there's a function called new date. I can use that to translate it into a readable format. If I put my msg.payload in a new date, and perhaps I can create a new variable. I can call it time. I can give that value to time, and then it requires the payload to be returned. So I will simply type msg.payload equal time. Now if I click done and deploy, perhaps I can reattach my debug and connect it to my function so I can see the output. Deploy again. Now if I inject, I can see now this number is in a readable format for human. Now if I inject one more time, go to my page 1, I can see that that text, that string is now being shown instead of the number. Now the question is how we can get our minutes and seconds separately. In order to do that, I'm going to my function. Well, I've already created a variable. I'm going to keep using it, but I'm going to make some changes of the msg.payload that I'm receiving. So I'm going to get rid of the time in front of the msg.payload, and instead of that, I'm going to create an object. For the object, I'm going to create hour, and for the hour, I can simply say time dot get hours. Simple as that. For the minutes, I can say min colon time dot get minutes. And for the seconds, similarly, I'm going to type second colon time dot get seconds. Now if I click done, deploy, clear my console and inject, I can see an object with hour, minutes and second being shown. If I go to my page 1, the similar object is now being shown here. Well, what I'm interested in is to have hour, minute, and second separately. So I'll go back to my editor, go back to my template, and instead of message.payload, I'll type message.payload.hour. If I go and deploy it and inject, I can see the time as hour is being shown. Now, similar to that one, I can create minutes and seconds. But before that, let's create another div tag. And inside div tag, I can create my time as a main title and then assign a value of hour, minute, and second to each of these values that I'm reading from my function node. Now if I click done, deploy, go back to my page one, I can see successfully that the time, hour, minutes, and seconds are successfully being shown. In this episode, we got the values from timestamp. But imagine that we have a PLC connected to the sensor getting the live data. And we can capture the live data in Node-RED using communication protocol like OPC-UA, Open Platform Communication Protocol. That would be the same process, same format. That's episode 2 done. We built the simplest real pipeline from inject to function to template node. We generated a live number and we displayed them in a dashboard using basic HTML. In episode 3, we will break down what we just typed, what a div is, how nesting works, what classes are, and etc. etc. Thank you for watching this video.